Hey guys, I started a new creative endeavor last night and was using a whole bunch of different AI tools. So I want to talk about my workflow and how I went about just getting some of the clips together for making a new music video for my band. So the song playing in the background here is Reverie. It's kind of one of our most impactful songs in the album, definitely one that we want to call as a single. And we've got some good performance footage from our debut show, and I'm going to have some extra performance footage shot from our rehearsal space. And so what I want to do is use the lyrics of this song and generate some good storytelling that goes along with the lyrics. So as you can hear, it's playing in the background. I don't have it too loud, but the song in essence was written right after COVID, and it's about just feeling lost inside your own space, and that only way to get out of your space when you're full-blown agoraphobic is to just generate it in your head and get lost. And even in the chorus here, it says, you'll never find me, I'm alone in reverie. Meaning, just the only way to get lost is to daydream and get out of there, and whether, that means you're self-medicating or anything like that. But I wanted to get some different imagery and things going on to be able to produce a good music video. And altogether, I ended up using Hailuo, and I'll get to it at the end here, but I ended up going with the subject reference, even though that's Hailuo 01, not 02. But I'll show you why and kind of my workflow and why I went that way. So first of all, what I do is, if I'm going to start working on something like this, I'll typically start with ChatGPT, where I'll say, hey, I want to start making a music video for this song. I'd like some good prompts for images to using a consistent character. Most of these scenes will be like in a bedroom or a dreamlike car scenario, saying, getting out of here and getting lost. And then also I added all the lyrics of the song to ChatGPT and said, hey, give me some other scenes that seem fitting in this kind of mood or this kind of direction. So it did exactly that, and so then it created a whole bunch of scenes for me here. So kind of a real world, dream world type crossover. So here's the bedroom, here's the dream driving sequences. There's a little spot here on the bridge about agoraphobia. And then it suggested a couple other scenes based on the lyrics, and then, it said, hey, what else do you want? And I said, give me 5 more scenes based on the current ideas and lyrics, and so it built a whole bunch of other cool things here. So I got a lot of good scenes to work with that I can start building as, to tell the story for this song. So step 1, how am I going to go about this? Well, Leonardo has a function in there that's the consistent character. And you know what? It kind of failed for me. So like here, the actual character that I uploaded, I'll go to one of these ones here so you can see. I'll click here, and you should be able to show the actual character. Let me see. Oh, I think I've got it all the way up here. There, this is the person. So that's the main character that I developed a little bit ago, that I want all the scenes to look like this person. And, Leonardo did okay at this, but it certainly wasn't a consistent character. Like, this guy's blonde, this guy's brunette, so like the hair color would change and the little facial features would change. So it's like, all right, you kind of gave me a decent starting point. I really like this one where you kind of had a headphone on and, was stuck by the window. So I ended up running with that one a little later in the video. I'll show you what I did. But as you can see here, it completely missed. Like, that guy is a completely different demographic. Here's a woman. Here's 2 people that kind of look like the image. And even though I did still do the character reference hi. So Leonardo kind of let me down a little bit here, but it did give me some good things to work with. So I got some good imagery here with some different prompts of these different scenes. So I said, okay, I'm getting somewhere. So I downloaded the ones that I liked, and then I went on over to Hailuo to see exactly how it would do using the 2.0. And again, I had some more fails here. I was pretty frustrated. This one here is actually one of the best looking ones, but it's got this weird kind of mist in his hair. But the scene looks good. It's got that kind of like ominous, the walls are closing in kind of scene. But I'm going to try to rerun it without this, whatever's going on in his hair here. So I thought that one was pretty good. That was fitting. But these other ones here, I got frustrated because they like overly emoted the guy's face. Like, I said, hey, I wanted him to look perplexed and vexed, but, flashes of light from outside, and then all of a sudden it's daylight at the end of the video. It goes from nighttime to daylight. So we had some more misses there, so a little bit frustrating, but I could probably use a couple 2-second clips of this Nothing, think about it, every clip that we get as these outputs. You don't have to use the full 6 seconds or so. You could only use 2 seconds at a time and still be good. So when you look at these outputs, don't stress too much about that. But so that one I thought was pretty good. This one again here, he had a TV behind him, and his face, a little bit too strong. But then I love what happens with the TV in the background here. So like the last 2 seconds of this clip is great. I'll be able to use this in my music video for sure. So the guy, he looks consistent enough going from shot to shot here, but he's doing okay. This one here kind of gets a little bit more abstract. The guy looks, his hair is a little different here, but then all of a sudden, the background out the window is like you're in a spaceship, so that was kind of cool. And that was the subtle bring to life, function of the prompt. So that's the one that I like to use a lot with Rosh. This one's him driving, but he's driving backwards. I could probably reverse this output when I put it into my video editing program, so it makes it look like he's driving forward. But altogether, this is pretty good. His face, I think he changes a little bit throughout this, from this guy to that guy there. I mean, there's some facial features that change a little bit, but not bad. I can work with this. I can run with this. So, but I was having some struggles, using these different images and getting some kind of fail outputs and some not. And then I noticed, now that I'm paying for Hailuo, I do have the subject reference option available, which is where you upload a photo and describe a scene and your character stays in the scene. So I'm like, hey, this is a great answer, but the only drawback is the only engine that subject reference runs on is the Hailuo.AI, not the 02, which is that big step forward. So let's see how it does. And I'm going to tell you that some of these were actually my biggest wins. This one of him driving in a dreamlike highway, I thought it changed the character a bit too much, to where it's almost kind of a different nationality there, but I really like the dreamlike highway. I like the lighting on his face, so I might be able to use this for a clip or two. Not bad. I was pretty happy with this, but then when I started to go to like this one, where it's just him kind of, walking around in a bare bedroom, and I thought the motion was good, the melancholy on his face was good, the lighting of the scene was good. Said, okay, now I'm starting to get to some wins here. This is looking really good. I'll be able to use some of these clips for my music video. That'll work out great. And then this one here was my favorite, to where it's like, that kind of selfie view where he's, just kind of trying to sleep but can't, and the scene kind of changes color, gets darker. And it's got a little bit of anxiety to it, and that's exactly what I was looking for. I said a scene shot from the ceiling pointed down, character not able to sleep, messy, minimal bed. So that one looked really good. Now this last one here is where it failed on us. So I wanted it to transition into a highway stretching in the clouds, and then all of a sudden they got this random floating flying guy. So that was our last fail at the end. So not too bad, but I'm getting a few scenes laid out here that are going to be able to work, and I'm going to actually do this as a few videos in a series here. This is just part one, and I'm excited to eventually show what this music video ends up being. So if you have any suggestions of other programs to use, or any any scenes that you really liked, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to keep crafting this and keep showing you guys how this works for my creative endeavors. And if you haven't seen yet, on Mondays, Rosh and I shoot the Creative AI Show. That is a podcast on available on all the popular streaming platforms, but it's also right here on our YouTube channel. And we talk 20-30 minutes about things just like this, how I'm showing my workflow on how to create creative projects, and then also how we have some solutions for our clients as well. And if you haven't done it yet, please like and subscribe to the page. We're growing every day. And until then, we're two creative guys talking AI.